the travel agents. Coming to you with tips, tricks, interviews, and voyages by cruise. The travel agents bringing you the latest travel news.
Hola, I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
We're your hosts for the Travel Agents podcast. Will, how's it feel to be back recording more podcasts again?
Feels good, man. It feels good. It's been a long time coming. And yeah, I feel like one day we'll have to touch up on why there was such a long absence. And maybe we'll dedicate a little episode to that. But we are back now, and we have a full year of content planned and mapped out. So we are back.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I love podcasting.
I know, it's so much fun. So
I love talking about travel. And you get home from a trip, and people are like, how was your trip, Will? And you go to tell them, they don't really care.
Right, yeah.
Because it's not the time and place. They just want to hear you say, it was good, and then move on.
It's our chance to just talk fully about our experiences.
And when people are ready to hear, they come listen.
Yep.
And they listen.
Yeah, so thank you for being our therapist.
Yeah. Well, this destination's fun, and it's funny because this is my 12th year in the travel industry.
Yeah.
And Punta Cana, which is in the Dominican Republic, has remained one of our top 3 best sellers in our whole inventory at our Kima Travel Agency. Yeah. And I've never been there.
So funny.
Until last month.
Yeah. But you've been to the Dominican, but you just haven't been to Punta Cana.
Right. The place where we send everyone.
Yeah. So for people who might not be aware, what is Punta Cana? What's so great about it? And why would I want to even go there?
Punta Cana is on the island of Hispaniola, which is two countries in one big island.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the west side or left side, you have Haiti. And on the right side or east side, you have the Dominican Republic. And just a quick side note, Dominican Republic, while yes, it's in the Caribbean, it's different from another island called Dominica, which is more rare. Not as many flights go there. Some cruise ships stop there. Though I hear it's a nice island, that's not it. This is the Dominican Republic, often referred to as the DR.
Yep.
So Punta Cana is on the far east side, about as far away from Haiti as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about Haiti a little bit later, just to touch on it.
Yeah, perfect.
But just to kind of give you that idea.
Yeah, is it
far
safe, is
east
it not
side.
safe? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So that's it. Just a quick note, it's a remarkable amount of all-inclusive resorts.
Yeah, it's insane.
Gorgeous beaches, great service, and a lot of ocean-themed activities and excursions. I got to go to Punta Cana just in May of 2024, a few weeks ago. I was there for a 3-night conference, but I added on 3 extra nights because I'm like, I got to see this country.
Yeah.
I got to see this city, Punta Cana.
Okay, cool.
I stayed at 3 different resorts, typical Brian fashion. I'm not just going to do one. I'm going to move around.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Hyatt All-Inclusive Collection or Hyatt Inclusive Collection. I stayed at Dreams Onyx, which is connected to Breathless Punta Cana, which I visited. I'll go over that. Secrets Tides and Dreams Flora. How did you get to and from the resorts, Brian? I used Ubers. I walked. Talk about that. And I used Amstar.
Perfect.
Will.
Yes, sir.
You've been to Punta Cana.
I have, yes. And well before I was a travel agent and well before I was even remotely close to being an experienced traveler, I went to Punta Cana with some friends, and we went to Republica. And this is going to be quite the different experience compared to Brian's experience with Dreams and Secrets. And we're going to touch up on why you would want to go there as opposed to maybe Secrets, and why you would want to go to Secrets as opposed to a Republic or a Riu chain. And we're going to touch up on all of that. But before we jump into that, I think it would behoove us to really say and mention that as great as Punta Cana might be, we're really going to concentrate mostly on these 4 resorts and kind of detail about what makes these chains unique, what makes these hotels unique, why you would consider going to these places, and see if it might be a good trip for you and your trip. But we're going to touch up on Punta Cana and talk a little bit about what it's like to visit there. But with that said, Brian, what do you think? Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. You go to Punta Cana for the all-inclusive resorts. You stay on property.
Yeah.
You enjoy these gorgeous properties. The girl I'm dating is Puerto Rican. My girlfriend is Puerto Rican. I'm sorry. Let me try again.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is Puerto Rican, and she does 45-minute flights to the
So
Dominican
jealous.
Republic. They're cheap, too. I looked at them.
Are they?
Yeah.
It's not fair, Christina.
Yeah. There you go. Shout out. And I said to her, I said, hey, I think maybe I'll like rent a car and drive around the island a little bit. She goes, no, you don't
Okay.
do that.
Okay. Sure.
You don't do that.
Why is that?
Safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we talking maybe gang violence, maybe unpaved roads, bandits? What are we talking about? How bad?
The roads are nice.
Okay.
I found them to be nice. At least
Yeah.
I'm in the tourist areas.
Sure.
I don't fit in,
Okay.
particularly
stick
as an
out.
American. I'm going
Yeah.
to stick out.
You're 6'3", you're tall.
In Dominican Republic, ellos hablan en español. They speak Spanish there.
Mm-hmm.
My Spanish isn't great. I'm a
It's
beginner.
passable for sure.
That's kind. Thank you. So with the language, but there's some poverty. Who knows if I'm going in a good neighborhood or not? So safety is a concern.
Okay.
So our clients go there. They stay on property unless they're doing an official guided excursion,
Yes.
where they have a local and an official company who takes them in their nice shuttle and takes them off property.
Yeah, they have a guide with them at all times, and they know exactly where they're going.
This is where it's tough, Will, because I think you know me, I'm so big into culture. I love learning about it. I'm not great with other cultures.
Sure.
Listen, shout out to the China episode. But with that said, it's like, as much as I'd love to talk about Dominican culture, their way of life, I'm a little sad to say, though it's just the truth, our clients go there for these gorgeous all-inclusive resorts, which are very Westernized, very Americanized.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, not to beat a dead horse here, but it is for sure why someone would go to the Dominican for the most part. It's similar to Cancun and going to Mexico and Cancun, Mexico, and maybe Cabo and those sorts. It's really the resorts, those beautiful beaches that are going to bring the majority of folks. So that's why we want to touch up on these different resorts and kind of highlight what makes each one of these unique and what makes these chains unique.
Absolutely. Let's start with our 3 defining words.
Let's do it.
Vives three words to help you without defining one.
Will, my first word is playa. No, beach. Beach.
Yeah.
Bávaro Beach, La Romana, which I didn't get to see La Romana Beach, but I saw Bávaro Beach, spent 6 days there. Wow. It's good.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's really nice. And Will, I'm eager to talk to you more about this, and especially actually, let's just talk about it now.
Okay. Yeah.
One thing we learned from season 1, don't say we'll talk about it later. Just talk about it.
Yeah.
And if we take time talking about it, I want to talk about it. So check this out, Will.
Okay.
I'm looking into the ocean multiple times, and I'm like, wow, the ocean looks to be different colors. About 50 yards out,
Okay.
it's a different color. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's different. And there's this weird little, like, white line. My eyes can see it.
Okay.
It's floating on the top of the water, and it's perfectly straight. And it goes as far as my eye can see. And there's no seaweed in sight. Beautiful, beautiful white sand beach in the most clear water.
Wow.
And I learned from my golf caddy, because I went golfing.
Nice.
And this was then verified by people at the resort,
Okay.
that what I'm looking at is a barrier they've put up in the ocean. Maybe it was 30, 40, 50 yards out.
Okay.
It goes like across Bávaro Beach, and think of it like a net.
It keeps it clean.
It keeps the seaweed out. It keeps sharks out.
Wow.
So that area that you would swim is absolutely gorgeous.
Just pristine, beautiful
There's
Caribbean water.
no seaweed, also known as sargassum.
Yeah,
That's the technical term.
Yeah.
Which was just plaguing
Dude, it was
Punta
brutal.
Cana,
Yeah.
also parts of Cancun and
Yeah.
Riviera Maya.
Mm-hmm.
And first off, just the engineer feat of this is amazing.
Sure.
It also then keeps the seaweed perfectly kind of up against that barrier. So if you wanted to collect the seaweed, you go out there and they have ways with their ocean material,
okay.
I don't know, ships to
Sure.
scoop it up.
Cool.
And with that, I watched a fascinating Business Insider documentary of a guy who takes the seaweed and makes bricks. 40% of the brick is made using the seaweed. He uses that brick, this is a guy in Mexico,
Sure,
to
okay.
build homes in Mexico. in their
Incredible.
beautiful homes. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Talk about utilizing.
utilizing
it's
it.
awesome. So when you, as an engineer mind, think about the amount of work that goes into this, also my mind, part of it wonders about like ethics. I think I'm okay with it. I mean, we get this gorgeous beach with no sharks and no seaweed.
Yeah. Is there any? I wonder if there's any damage to marine.
That's my
life,
question.
Maybe? That would probably be my only.
What's the controversy here?
Yeah.
Because the moment you start messing with the ocean, my question's like, what does that do?
What's the trade-off?
What's the trade-off?
Yeah, that's a good question. But for travelers, beautiful, pristine beaches, you don't have to worry about sargassum, seaweed, sharks, dangerous wildlife. How about jellyfish? Maybe even jellyfish. You don't have to worry about that.
Wow. That's such a good point.
Yeah, every time I go to the beach, it's like, all right, how many times are we going to get stung by a jellyfish today?
I felt calm as can be in the water. It's like nothing.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of nice. Like kind of like making the ocean safe for swimmers.
So those with thalassophobia, you don't have to worry.
Ooh, wow.
Fear of the ocean.
Check that out, man. So that's an interesting topic. I'd be curious to hear if other people are okay with this or if they think like, no, they're against it. I haven't heard the other side of the story. Mm-hmm. The only side of the story I can tell you is how nice it was.
Yeah. If you guys have any thoughts on that, we'd love to hear it. Yeah. Send us a message.
And just remember like the smell.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, I think July 2017, I went to Cancun with a buddy and it was like awful seaweed. Mm-hmm. The smell, it actually turned your stomach and kind of took away your appetite.
It's very, it's very seafood esque, but like
trash, dude.
Yeah, it's like it just feels grimy and smells
rotten.
Grimy. Yeah.
The guys out there at like 5 a.m. shoveling it up. I'm like, God bless you. Like, man, what a job, too.
Man. Yeah, that's rough. Okay. Well, hey, that's good to know, man. The Bavaro Beach, is it? Let's say, is it public? Can folks, Dominicans?
So parts of it are public, parts of it just weren't. Like at the resorts I was at, there were security guards walking up and down the beach.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I like to take night walks at the beach.
Yeah. Okay.
I felt very safe because I was bookend on both sides of each resort I was at by security guards who would wave to me or
that's cool.
One asked me like, "Are you okay? Like, what are you doing out here?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just walking." Like, "Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you trying to find drugs or like what's going on here, dude?" Yeah, but that's that's a thing. A few years ago, in the headlines, people dying going to Dominican resorts.
Oh,
and the reason being was because of the bootleg alcohol.
Wow.
That people were buying off of the beach. I don't know why you would go to an all-inclusive resort where alcohol is included in the package, but they decided to buy bootleg alcohol from strangers on the beach in the Dominican. But hey, they did, and they died. Now that wasn't always the case, but for most
some of them like
stories,
15 years old or something. So is that a thing like maybe they weren't getting it at the all-inclusive? Because I think you have to be 18. That's a good point. Most countries around the world is 18 to drink alcohol.
That's a good point. Maybe that's the case. All that I know is that there was an issue with bootleg alcohol and the purchasing of the bootleg alcohol coming off of those beaches. So I wonder if that's part of maybe the increased security and protecting the beachgoers and things like that.
Security was top notch.
Okay.
My Ubers couldn't get into the resort. They wouldn't let them in to pick me up. They're like, no, you have to walk out to the gate to go get your Uber. We only let official licensed companies in who have like a contract. I'm like, wow, this security is top notch. If you were worried about safety, go to these resorts. You're fine there.
Do you have any insight as to why there's that increased security? Did they say anything about that? Is that maybe to
it's funny,
provide protection with Haiti and everything like that, or maybe give a peace of mind?
True.
Or
yeah, I mean, where tourism thrives, safety is present. Right. Mm-hmm. The moment there's a lack of safety, bookings decrease. By
absolutely. It takes one death.
Thousands. Mm-hmm. So that year, I want to say it was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
When there were like 8 deaths in the Dominican Republic.
It's crazy.
All-inclusive resorts. Mm-hmm. I'm saying 8. You can fact check me, please. But I just remember that number. It's like, bookings dropped to the DR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a huge issue.
So I can't speak for every single resort that they all have security guards. I'm just going to say the 3 Hyatt inclusive resorts I went to, every beach was bookended by security guards, which is saying quite a bit.
Nice. Yeah, and it's been a few years since I've been to the Republica. So my my memory is going to be a bit outdated because when I went, it was before this issue. So I don't know if that was maybe something that factored into play here. But when I went, I don't recall any increased security, but I also went, unbeknownst to me, to a party resort. So
You want to talk about that now?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Republica now.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. My experience with Republica, I went to the Dominican for the first time in my life by going to the Republica. I had only heard about all-inclusives. This was well before I was a travel agent, well before I had really experienced any other country outside of maybe Ireland and some countries in my youth. But as an adult, I had always heard all my friends were going to honeymoons for all-inclusive, so we were really eager and excited to go to these resorts and experience it for ourselves. Now, if you're not familiar with the term all-inclusive, that's going to include really everything in your package: flights, transports. Well, I can't say flights. Sorry, not flights. Most packages, when you buy an all-inclusive resort, it's probably going to include your flights. But all-inclusive package is definitely going to include your food, your alcohol, and your transport to and from the airport. And so when I went to Republica, it's a large resort, probably is going to have, I would say, a few hundred rooms. So there's going to be a lot of rooms. And I would say the big downside to Republica is that it attracted more of that younger crowd, that was looking to just take advantage of the alcohol.
So a downside for you, but an upside for the partygoers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're looking for that party resort, I think Republica and maybe the Riu chain could be a good option for you. And the price point, it's very economic for folks who are looking for that economic option for resorts. I will say too, in the check mark for Republica is that it was so clean. It was such a clean resort. I would say the only downside out in that like clean aspect was there this like this river that kind of cut through the middle of the resort, and it smelled like sewage. It was not a flowing river, so a river probably wasn't a good term for it, but it was shaped like a river. It was just it was a sitting lake.
Okay.
And outside of that, the resort was really clean. The food, it went through you. It just didn't stick.
If I could just touch Riu, R-I-U, started by, I want to say, a guy in like Spain or Greece or something.
That sounds right.
He brought it over to Mexico and the Caribbean, huge hit. Because, wow, we're seeing packages for the whole week for $700 a piece with flights from Cleveland.
Crazy deals.
All your breakfast, lunch, dinner, beer, wine, liquor, tips, gratuities, lots of activities on a beach. I mean, what more could you ask for? And if you're a college kid,
dude, it's perfect.
Especially if you're 18 years old and the drinking age there is 18. I'm going to Google that here. But talk about a nice package where you can just party for a week and you can leave your wallet in the in-room safe with the 4-digit code locked and not worry about it because it's all inclusive, baby.
Yeah, and it's an adults-only resort. And so
that particular one was not all reused.
Yeah, not all reused, but Republica was an adults only, so there were no kids. So for folks maybe looking for an economic option for the honeymoon, and they're a little nervous about going to a party resort, there are sections of the resort that were quiet, but I would encourage you to look at some other resorts, and maybe the resorts that Brian had went to during his experience in the DR would be a better fit for you, even if they are not adults only.
So I'm with you, and I think just real quick, the drinking age in Dominican Republic is 18. Just to verify that. And that brings me on to everything you just said brings me on to my second defining word, which is price. Price. Punta Cana is a great price point.
Yeah, it is.
And it can be extremely attractive to those who, from many gateways in the United States or even Puerto Rico, want some flights, lots of flights there. Beautiful airport. And great price for a week or even a weekend getaway.
Absolutely.
All inclusive.
Yeah, I would say it's Mexico, Dominican, and Jamaica are your top 3 most economic all-inclusive options in the Caribbean.
I agree.
And it's typically going to more so bounce back and forth between Mexico and the Dominican as your most economic, with Jamaica coming right below it.
Best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
So those clients who, hey, Brian, we've done Cancun, we've done Riviera Maya, we've been there like 3-4 times. We like the price point. We want something else. Hands down.
Yeah.
Punta Cana.
Yeah.
Punta Cana. So price, great. Last defining word. This won't come as a surprise, but resort. This is Punta Cana, unless you're Dominican and maybe you have family there that you're going to visit, which that's great. That's great for you. But we're coming at this from very much the tourism perspective.
Yeah.
Resort. Stay on the resort unless you're leaving for a guided tour or you're transferred to the airport. Stay on the resort. You don't go stumbling off the property. As a matter of fact, you really can't. It's like a half-mile walk to the gate, Yeah. Then there's a security guard.
Yeah.
Dude, the one time when I left my first resort to walk next door to my second resort,
Yeah.
the security guard at the gate said, "Where's your exit ticket?"
No way. Really?
I said, "My exit ticket, dude, I'm checked out. I just want to," well, actually, I didn't check out. I just kind of left.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, you have to go back in and get permission to leave."
Wow.
I was like, "You guys are serious about security here?" He's like, "Yeah." I go back in. I do the whole checkout process. I get my ticket. I go back. I hand it to him. I said, "Okay, can I leave yet?" He goes, "Can I just call you a taxi or can you call an Uber? I know it's just the next resort, but you don't want to walk." I'm like, "Dude, I'm okay. It's noon. I got my suitcase. I'm going to literally walk from resort to the resort next door."
Wow.
It was actually 2 resorts down.
Sure.
He's like, "Are you sure I can't call you a taxi?" I'm like, "I'm going to be fine." And I kind of wish I'd called a taxi.
Oh, no. Why is that?
It was fine.
Far?
It was a far walk, though the road and the sidewalk was fine.
Yeah.
I was approached by 5 people asking if I wanted a taxi. I had to wave them off.
Interesting.
One guy came running out of a restaurant to come flag me down. "Taxi, taxi, taxi." I'm like, "No, man, I'm fine. I'm just right up here. I'm 2 minutes away, And I was perfectly safe. There was a little market I passed. I saw a bank. I saw restaurants. It was totally fine.
Yeah.
It's just kind of feeling like I was harassed.
Sure.
5 different times during a 7-minute walk.
Oh, man.
Just to get to the next resort. And then when I got to the second resort, the guy said, "Where are you coming from?" I said, "I walked here." He goes, "No, you didn't." I said, "I did." He goes, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, let me see if your name's on the list." And my name was on the list. He's like, "Okay, well, welcome. Can I call a golf cart to come get you and take you the rest of the way?" I'm like, "I'll just walk." He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, wow.
That's
Talk
crazy.
about I mean, high level of service, but also they're really making sure you don't come in or out unless you are
on that list.
On that list.
Was that walking from Secrets to a Beaches resort?
I was walking from a Dreams resort to a Secrets. Dreams Onyx to
Beaches.
Secrets Tides. Yep.
Yeah, I mean Dreams.
Defining words: beach, price, and resort. That's
Should
what
we
to
touch
think
up
of.
on the 3 resorts now?
Absolutely, dude.
Okay.
First resort I went to was called Dreams Onyx. All 3 of the resorts I went to are part of the Hyatt Inclusive Collection. We're huge fans of those. Hyatt Inclusive Collection, you have resorts. Each resort, you need, actually, I can't say this enough. You actually need to get a travel agent when you're going to Punta Cana. And I mean it, get one. Because there's so many resorts and so many options. And
Overwhelming.
it's so
dude.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
And we cut through all the mess for you and say, stay here, stay there, stay here, stay there. Don't bother with this one.
This was, okay, so backtrack. When I booked Republica, we were going off of, we went on Apple Vacations. We booked the reservations off of Apple Vacations, which is a provider of these all-inclusive packages. And they have this very own rating called Golden Apples. And we based off our decisions off of these golden apples.
Sure.
They're not, I don't want to say they're not credible,
There's
but
some
they
controversy.
don't paint the full picture.
So, huge fan of Apple Vacations. A
Yes,
question
absolutely.
we often have is, how do different resorts get their Apple ratings?
Yes.
Because it's,
So,
just a thought. Just throwing that out there. Travel agents,
Yeah.
we can,
Rio Republica.
we want you to come back happy.
yeah, Rio Republica, 6 golden apples. I think highest rating, I
Maybe
think.
so, sure.
Something like that. To put it in context, granted, different resort, different country, but Jade Mountain in St. Lucia, maybe one of the most gorgeous, most famous resorts in the Caribbean, strictly due to its visual appeal. Highly respected, highly critically praised, very expensive resort. I don't even think it has 3 apples on Apple Vacations ratings. There's a huge dichotomy in terms of quality. Anyway, to circle back to our original point, when I booked the Republica, we were going based solely off of those ratings from Apple Vacations.
Sure.
And while we were there, the whole time I was thinking, dang, I wish I knew a travel agent. And then I met Brian, and I said, hey, man, what do you think about one of the first questions I asked you was hey, how do you feel about Republica? And you're like, don't go. It's terrible. Don't go. No.
Well,
no, it's not a good fit for
for what you
family.
wanted. Right.
Yes, yeah.
Right. For what you wanted, it wasn't the right fit. And that's our job as a travel agency. We find the right fit because the resort is the right fit for some people.
It is. Yes, it is.
For campers and Europeans. I'm kidding. It's the right fit for some people.
Yeah.
I'm sure we would have had a lot of fun at a certain stage in our life.
Yeah. Well, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun there. It just wasn't a good fit for us.
All the resorts I went to were awesome. I'll be quick. Dreams Onyx, tried and true resort, one of the most epic pools ever. This pool has a lazy river. In the middle of it, though, are waterfalls, as well as a giant open area with a swim-up bar where if you're an adult, you can go get alcohol.
Yep.
And if you're a kid, you can go get virgin drinks.
Heck yeah.
And there's 4 slides. I did one of them. It was awesome.
Dude, you know what? Speaking of slides, Republica, incredible slides.
There you go.
So fun.
And then you had a stage where bands performed live.
So cool.
For the people in the pool.
Yeah.
And palm trees over your head guarding you with shade and stuff. I mean, awesome pool. Dreams Onyx, huge fan. It's connected to Breathless Punta Cana. Mm-hmm. Breathless is adults only, and it's a little more risque, a little more party, a little more sexy, right? Mm-hmm. That's its whole push.
Yeah.
I did walk over there just to see. They had some dancing. They had a performer doing some covers. It was nice. It was fun. Their entertainment team was going. They weren't doing the foam party or the bikini fashion show, which I've heard about. It was a little more of a tame night, which I appreciated. But the cool thing is, if you're an adult staying at Dreams Onyx, you can walk over to Breathless and enjoy that more adult-centered entertainment.
Cool.
2 doors down was Secrets Tides. Secrets, this is your resort for your lovers. Mm-hmm. Yes, singles are allowed here, but don't go if you're single. It's really a great honeymoon resort, great for anniversary goers.
Yeah.
It's for adults only, and it's catered for lovers.
Yeah, it's very
extremely chill and romantic.
Mm-hmm.
The entertainment team, they're not bumping music. They're just there to chat with you.
Maybe
and
a live guitar.
Exactly. Maybe a cello. No. Yeah, a little guitar, little jazz band. At night there was a section where you could have a little more fun entertainment, more like a nightclub feel.
Yeah.
You did not have to go there. You could do a nice walk on the beach if you wanted. That's Secrets.
How did Secrets kind of paint that romantic feel? If I'm planning a honeymoon there,
sure,
what can I maybe expect with a Secrets resort, or maybe even particularly with Secrets Tides? Were you able to pick up on anything in particular?
Everything is it's not geared towards kids, right?
Yeah.
In the same way, Princess, Celebrity, and Holland America Cruise Lines, kids are allowed, but they're bored as heck. There's nothing for them to do.
Right.
Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, and Disney and Carnival, geared for kids. Your money's going towards the kids.
Yeah.
You go to a Dreams property, which is family friendly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The amount for the kids to do is great.
Okay.
Right? Video games, water slides, entertainment. Even the music is going to be stuff like Bruno Mars, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I actually do like Bruno Mars, but still, maybe more kid-friendly stuff. And then maybe that wasn't a good example of music. You go to the Secrets Resort, adults only, make it some nice soft jazz.
Yeah. You're playing Versace on the floor when you're talking Bruno Mars,
Exactly. You go to the buffet. It's not chicken fingers and hot dogs.
Okay. It's risotto and steak dinners.
And creme brulee for dessert. Yeah, exactly. It's just a little more adventurous for that. For the entertainment, it's not the Kid Bop or SpongeBob entertainment. It's maybe a comedian, maybe, something merengue or bachata or salsa dancers as opposed to,
Okay. Cool.
the SpongeBob Paw Patrol type stuff.
Okay, so Secrets, great for the honeymooners, the romantics, those looking for a romantic, adults-only getaway.
Right.
While Dreams is great for the family.
So then I took Amstar, 40 minutes from Secrets Tides, where my conference was, great conference, to Dreams Flora, another Dreams resort, so family-friendly.
Okay, I'm going to interject real quick. Is that okay?
Please.
What's Amstar?
Amstar is the ground operator for Apple Vacations, who we love.
Yep.
And in lots of islands and Mexico and the Caribbean. So you can trust them. They wear blue flowered shirts. They have appropriate signage. We trust Amstar. We love them. We say book your, not just transportation, but also excursions.
Through Amstar.
With Amstar.
Yep, absolutely.
They have from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's a rep at like every hotel.
It's so nice. Yeah.
You can walk around and be like, hey, I want to do an excursion. There's safety. That's why on our final documents, Will, we put a picture of their reps and their shirt, their logo.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Just so we can be like, hey, this is safety. Look for this when you arrive at the airport.
Yep.
Look for this when you want to book an excursion. So I appreciated my driver who took me from one resort 40 minutes to the next. I stayed at Dreams Flora. Flora means flowers in Spanish? I don't know. Flora and fauna, right?
I think so.
Anyways, this whole resort, it's kind of got like a jungle theme. You walk through it, it's almost
cool.
like you see these, you're kind of protected by all these cool, like anywhere you walk of palm trees and fun plants and wildlife, and really cool feel.
Yeah.
I liked Dreams Flora a lot.
What about it did you like?
I liked the feeling that it wasn't so. Secrets Tides was so giant and big and open.
Okay,
you could see from the beach all the way to the front lobby, which was like half a mile and back, all very open.
Yeah,
pristine and beautiful. Dreams Floor is like a little jungle, right? You're kind of walking through it, and the pool was maybe the biggest pool I've ever seen. But it just kept going and going and going and going, and you're like, "Is this? Am I still in the same pool?"
Yeah.
One point you're going under bridges, there's volleyball nets, there's swim up bars, and you keep going around bends and curves, and you're like, wow, I'm in the same body of water as those people like 10 minutes ago,
cool.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's got a very cool feel with that.
Yeah.
I always say, judge a resort based on its pool, right?
Yeah.
So while there's some resorts you're like,
Absolutely.
oh, that pool is really lacking. But some resorts you're like, this pool is epic,
the one.
right?
Yeah.
People come from all over the world for this kind of pool, right? Like, I remember like the Westin Maui. For a travel agent said, Brian, look at that pool. This was in Maui, right?
Yeah.
She was like, that pool, people come from around the world for that pool. And I looked at it, I'm like, wow, that's an epic pool. If a resort is going to be awesome, they're going to put a ton of money into their pool. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, so with a pool like that, super long, and maybe this is a question overall particularly for the Dreams resorts.
Sure.
Obviously, it's family friendly, but hey, maybe because family friendlies tend to be, not always, but they tend to be a little bit cheaper than adults only.
I agree.
So maybe I want that really nice resort, Dreams, but I'm a little nervous about going to a family friendly restaurant or resort.
Yeah.
Are there areas in the resort that might be like adults only, or maybe might push towards adults only? Maybe you have the adults only pool, or maybe a section where it's like, hey, this is the section for the adults and no kids.
I can appreciate that. And I think one thing you'll find is, yes, a lot of resorts do have that option. And some of them will say, like, if you upgrade to a preferred club status, each resort has a different word for it. VIP, resort, preferred club, or, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Upgrading to that gives you access to certain areas of the resort not everyone has. Maybe a private section of the beach, maybe a private pool, maybe a private lounge. I was not preferred club at the 2 Dreams resorts I was at.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt it.
Yeah.
Because I walked past those preferred club areas. I'm like, oh, those look fun.
Yeah. It's got that exclusivity to it. It's really
For
cool.
the conference at the Secrets Resort, they gave it all the attendees, they gave us preferred club status. So I got to walk around there like a king.
Yes, sir. It's
the
a different
other 2
vibe.
resorts, I'm like, man. So I kind of learned that the hard way with some clients that came back like, Brian, I kind of felt left out. I wish you would have told me about the preferred club. upgraded VIP
absolutely.
at whatever resort it was.
Okay.
But I agree with you in that a lot of resorts are doing hey, this is going to be this is going to be an adults only area, even though it's a family friendly resort. That's a good point.
That's cool. And not to maybe jump forward. I hope I'm not jumping forward, but I remember when we talked earlier, you had mentioned that one of these resorts had probably the coolest pool, one of your top pools that you've ever seen. Is that going to be Dreams Flora?
No, it's the Dreams Flora.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just impressed with it.
Yeah.
I just liked how it kept going.
Yeah, dude, those huge pools.
Well, we grew up with pool. Think about your local YMCA.
Yeah.
It's a square.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's just
But that's all we've ever
pool.
known.
Yeah.
So the moment you're like, wait a minute, you can do this with a pool?
Yeah.
You could just dig a crazy design that just kind of keeps going and going and going and
Yeah.
zigs and zags, and you can do that. It's like, why not?
It's
And
so cool.
Did it.
Is it I remember when we went to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland, which we have an episode for if you're interested in learning about Iceland. But in the Blue Lagoon, huge, it's not a swimming area, but
Almost.
for lack of a better word, a huge swimming pool.
Yeah.
And there were areas with these huge caves that you could kind of go in and kind of have a little bit of a private experience and things like that. So is it kind of maybe more on that sort of vibe?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Particularly for Dreams Flora, it kind of felt like you had little crevices you go in and just have some privacy.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of these resorts is fairly new, right?
Yeah, Secrets Tides just opened. Thank you, January of 2024. So 5
Super
months
new.
ago.
The paint's not even dry yet, really.
It felt new.
Yeah.
But what I appreciated about it, I think a brand like Hyatt, who owns this,
they're great.
they're so good. It's not a lot. Sometimes when we put clients at brand new resorts, we're a little bit nervous. Maybe they haven't worked out all the kinks yet.
Yeah.
What happens
maybe the
when
staff isn't all trained?
Yeah, the faucet's broke. This isn't there. They don't have plates at this restaurant. They ran out of plates. I don't know, things like that.
Yeah.
Those stuff don't happen at the resorts that have been around for a few years.
Right.
So when can you trust that a resort has been around long enough that they have those kinks fixed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think 6 months in, I would say I saw nothing wrong with it.
Nice.
I was
Okay.
really impressed.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Love
Okay.
it. I want to go into my highs.
Let's
for
do
Punta
it.
Cana.
It's high, low, high, lows coming to you.
When it comes to the highs, what I've learned about different countries is, I don't know if this is a governmental thing,
Okay.
but if you want to get people to your country, it all starts with we call it the lift, the airlift, the flights.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why we're seeing growth in Ethiopia and Rwanda, because those airlines are doing well.
They're incredible.
Airlines that aren't doing well, my first question is, do you have any flights in and out?
Sure.
So a significant amount of nonstop flights from Cleveland in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And many other gateways to
Punta Cana.
To Punta Cana.
Yeah. There are a lot of airports that are flying directly into Punta Cana.
So look at all the people from Northeast Ohio. Keep in mind, Ohio is the 8th most populated state in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's nothing to
it's not nothing.
eyelash at.
Yeah.
And you look at Cleveland, a huge city.
Mm-hmm.
We have nonstop flights to which international destinations besides Cancun and Toronto? Where do we have nonstop flights to?
Dublin.
Dublin. That's huge, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aer Lingus, for the Dublin
absolutely.
flight. We're very appreciative. Got great feedback from it. But Punta Cana.
Yeah.
Punta Cana. There you go. And the same is said for places like Milwaukee.
Mm. Yeah,
Places
Milwaukee's got great
like
flights.
Yeah, places like Kansas City,
Yeah.
Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
A ton of places they
lot.
can go.
Yeah.
And they're going to Punta Cana.
Yeah.
And when it comes, people hate layovers, right?
Yeah, they suck, dude.
Yeah. So if I can
Flights
get that
canceled,
nonstop
they
flight,
get delayed.
all of a sudden it's like maybe they've never heard of Punta Cana, but they heard there's a nonstop flight. So they're like, tell me about it, Brian. Tell
Yeah.
me about it, Will. I
Let's
want to
check it
hear
out."
about Punta Cana. I don't even know what country it's in, but tell me about it. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
The airport, comfortable, beautiful airport to fly into.
Mm.
Put a ton of cash into that airport. And
Yeah.
I will say super, super nice. Dude, my priority pass got me lounge access on the way out. I got to the airport early,
Okay.
and there were 2 lounges.
Yeah.
First lounge near my gate closed. Bummer, because they're remodeling it.
Okay.
There was a second lounge, but it was like a 7-minute walk. I'm like, I'm going to do it, right? Because I had like 2 hours for my flight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I walk 7 minutes. I get to this lounge. It's an elevator upstairs. Gorgeous lounge, gorgeous windows overlooking the runway, a buffet, a bartender, a ton of seats. There was a kids' play area. Then there was an outside. I walk outside, and there's a private swimming pool with restrooms and lockers and a water fountain and beach loungers. All overlooks the runway. We're watching airplanes take off and land in a private swimming pool, like a large swimming pool, like the size of my grandpa's growing up,
That's
underground.
so sick.
And you're up on a 3rd story swimming in a lounge. I had my bathing suit with me.
Right. Yeah.
but
Who would think to bring your bathing suit?
I'm like,
yeah. So if you're going to
this-
the Dominican,
yeah,
maybe,
right.
Yeah, plan your bathing
Get to
suit
the
at
airport. They're going to get you nice and early. Go enjoy.
That's incredible. If you haven't gone to a lounge
Yeah.
in an airport, granted,
Yeah.
some of them are not great.
Right.
Most of them, incredible. Such a great experience. They're
Well,
so nice.
You look at people and say, what's the worst part about flying? Oh, the airport's having to wait
Yeah.
there at the gate. Those
Dude,
uncomfortable
no.
chairs.
Private
Imagine if you-
lounges.
Imagine if you could take that terrible experience and make it an awesome experience.
Yep.
That's the goal of
Mhm.
like anything, right?
In most lounges, you're going to get food, drinks,
Mhm.
alcoholic drinks,
Free Wi-Fi.
free Wi-Fi, electricity, comfortable chairs.
Lots of plugs to plug in, charge your stuff.
Some have beds that you can.
Some have showers.
Some have showers.
One has a pool.
Yeah, one has a pool. Like, if you're looking at some of the more major airports, you're going to get nicer amenities. If you're looking at, I think
Cappuccino machines.
cappuccino machines. Yeah, when we were flying out of, not Palermo, but
Catania.
Thank you. The airport lounge
Oh.
wasn't great.
That was a little
Yeah, they
embarrassing.
range. But how did you get access to your lounge? Was it through your Chase Sapphire card or
Chase Sapphire Reserve, the greatest credit card on earth.
shameless plug? We do love that card. It's a great credit card.
Dude, I wish, and if I refer to people, I don't get any points.
Oh, okay.
They stopped out like the first year.
Oh, really?
So I can't benefit from telling people.
Yeah.
It's almost like the best kept secret. I'm like, should I hang on to it or should I let people know? I don't know.
We don't want the priority lounges to be crowded.
Right. You get free priority pass.
They're so
when you
nice.
get the
But
card.
if you don't have a Chase Sapphire card, and let's say you fly with United or you fly with Delta,
Sure.
you can pay for access to the priority lounge. There may be, I'll say, $45 to $65 depending. And honestly, they're kind of worth it, even on the 65. If you're going to be there for several hours, like more than 5 hours, you can get 2 meals out. You can get drinks. You can get some workout, knock out some work. Same goes with Delta, United. Yeah, those two definitely are going to offer those.
Different lounges have different. You can get one-time passes.
Yeah.
One issue I'm finding with just how these airports will say they have a limit of occupancy.
Yeah.
And what's happening is, especially if you're on a crowded time, which is hard to say when our time's crowded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Saturday, super busy, or I don't know, afternoon. I don't quite know, but I've been where I said, "Hey, can I just pay cash to go into this lounge? I have a 4-hour layover. I just want, can I?" And they're like, "Oh, because we're so full, we're not doing the cash passes right now."
Okay.
It's like, ugh. So sometimes yes,
Yeah.
sometimes no.
But you can order it through the app, and if it's at occupancy, it won't let you order it.
Cool.
And also, if you're flying business or first class, you're going to get access to this. A part of your ticket.
To another continent.
Yes. Thank you for the correction. Yes.
Sure. Next, let's see. When I got airport customs easy, baggage claim easy, finding the transfer easy. Especially when you're flying into a foreign country, this is a lot of the high stress points for travelers, particularly travelers who don't travel a lot. So Punta Cana Airport, easy, beautiful, nice. Yeah, go ahead.
Do they have a maybe a service, if you will, like Club Mobay, that gets you through customs with someone there, picks you up with the cart and everything like that
On departure.
on departure.
So when you're ready to leave Punta Cana and come home,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so upset into this. You can spend $20
Oh
and
my.
you get access to a VIP lounge, and they take you a back way through like security and check-in.
It's so nice.
I have no idea why I didn't pay the $20, but
Because
everyone
you get
should do it.
streamlined,
Yeah.
and you feel like a VIP when you do it.
You feel like a VIP. And you can't miss it. As you're walking to the gate with every single person, the one way you have to go, it says right here, $20
Oh, really?
VIP service, and you can just pay it right there. And I didn't do it
Incredible.
because I thought I could see the line and it looked short, but I
Yeah.
couldn't see around the corner to where
Oh,
the
no.
masses were.
Just turn right around and get that, take
I know.
that $20.
I was thinking, can
yeah.
I go back through the one security?
Yeah.
Next parts of I'm just going to go over these highs.
Sure. Knock it out.
Gorgeous resorts with beautiful beaches. The staff at these resorts is getting better at English. That's going to go with my lows in just a second, but
okay.
they're getting better with English. There's lots of resort options. If you go to Punta Cana and you don't like the resort you're at, don't write off Punta Cana, right?
Yeah.
You're
Trust
a
me
great
on that.
experience with
Yeah.
that. There will be, I'm almost positive,
Yeah,
a resort
guarantee.
for you.
Yeah.
There's resorts for foodies. There's resorts for adults. There's resorts for partiers. There's resorts for older people, younger people, families. There's resorts for, kind of like everything, right?
Yeah. There's something for everyone.
It's a great price. If you have a low budget, think of Punta Cana. Ask a travel agent, what's the best bang for my buck? We're going to say Cancun and Punta Cana. That's what we're going to say.
Yep.
Beautiful golf course I got to play at called the La Cana Golf Course. I played 18 holes, Will,
Hey, look at you.
and it overlooked the ocean.
That's cool.
This was hands down the most beautiful course I've ever played at in my
yeah.
life.
That's awesome. Okay.
Came with a caddy. Dude, while we rode in the golf carts, he walked behind us in the 90-degree sun.
Wow.
He does 2 sets of 18 holes per day.
Wow.
The dude was awesome. I felt so unworthy.
Yeah.
I golf once a year. I suck at it. Though I had some nice drives.
Nice,
Like,
dude.
some clients gave me some good tips before.
Good for you.
But dude, like the caddy, he'd tell me what club I should use, and then he had this like binocular thing that told us how far away from him. He's like, okay, you're 110 yards from the hole. I'm like, that means nothing to me.
Yeah.
But other guys like that, you know.
Yeah.
But I know
The
felt
winds
awesome.
due east 35 miles an hour. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Dude. Every like 4 holes, this nice lady on a golf cart with a cooler with cold Coke, juice, water, beer came to replenish us for
Gotta
free.
stay fresh.
It's incredible, man.
Was this a part of one of the resorts?
All right. This La Cana golf course is an excursion you can go to, and you can pay a couple $100 a piece for transportation. 18 holes, comes with. Dude, after 9 holes, we went to the clubhouse and put in panini orders. Delicious chicken panini. There was beer. There was Coke. There was water. There was juice. There were chips. I loaded up.
Incredible.
It was amazing. All
Incredible.
included. So this is a great excursion if you're a golfer.
Nice.
And the clubs that were included were Titleist clubs, which
Oh, wow. Yeah.
all the golfers I was with were like, these are great clubs.
Yeah.
These are great. Last high was just that barrier in the water to keep out the seaweed and sharks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm really
Peace of mind,
interested.
beautiful water. Heck yeah. You get to enjoy that beautiful
Yes.
Caribbean water. That's why you go down there.
I have 4 lows.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. The food.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's what I'm going to say. The food was better than I thought because I was told it was mostly inedible.
Oh, wow.
That was from a pickier travel agent friend.
Okay.
Food was better than that. I will just say this. One cool thing with these resorts is they have okay, for example, a Japanese restaurant, a French restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, I thought I was going to keep going. Another type of restaurant. All these different
Mediterranean,
things. Sure.
fusion
Yes.
restaurants.
There you go. Nice. Love it. I think like the first restaurant I went to was a Japanese restaurant. And, I've been to Japan. I've tasted incredible sushi.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, even here in Ohio, there's some nice Japanese food. I was so unimpressed.
Yeah.
I went to a French restaurant. I gave it maybe like a 4 out of 10.
Oh, no.
But then I went to the Mexican restaurant. It was incredible. And we're a lot closer to Mexico. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I had some great tacos. They had churros. They had great frijoles, beans.
Heck yes, dude.
Cristina Habichuela. Sorry, that's from Puerto Rico. Dude, go to like 10 different South American countries or Central America or Caribbean.
Yeah.
They have like 10 different ways of saying the word beans
Really?
in Spanish. In Spanish.
Incredible. Interesting. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just frijoles.
You see?
It's awesome. So
Yeah.
what made the French restaurant terrible? What made the Mexican restaurant?
It just
good?
feels
Just
like
tasty?
people who don't know French food are making it. People who
Yeah.
don't know Japanese food are making it. People who, you know what I'm saying?
French
And
food
that's
is
where-
hard.
Well, here's the thing. We're very
is.
blessed. We're very fortunate in America that we are such a melting pot.
Yeah.
So when we go to a Japanese restaurant, guess what? Maybe there's a Japanese person making it.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn fortunate.
Yep. Agreed.
Same with Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's lots of Italian restaurants over there. And dude, this pasta I ate at one of the resorts, I think I could do better. And I'm not a cook. So
Wow.
right off the
Okay.
bat, I was a little bummed with the food.
Sure.
But then I was chatting with my girlfriend, Christina, who goes to Punta Cana often, 45-minute flight from Puerto
Yeah,
Rico.
I don't blame
And
her.
she's like, Brian, try the Dominican food. You're in the Dominican Republic. You're all upset about the Japanese, the French, the Italian food
Yeah.
because the pizza was awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. I did have good pizza at one of the places. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
What I'm saying was I tried mangú, which is plantains mashed up into kind of like a mush, and they add different other toppings to it. It's more for breakfast.
Okay.
It was great.
Where did you get it at? Did you get it
It
at
was
the
at the
resort?
buffet.
Ah.
The buffet at the resort. They said every morning we have mangú. We have a whole Dominican section, right?
Interesting. That's cool.
I tried the mangoes, fresh from the
Oh,
trees,
dude,
delicious.
The mangoes in the Dominican.
Incredible.
Mm.
Amazing mangoes,
Amazing.
amazing fruit, the pineapple, the kiwi. So I think what happens was, I guess you need to set your expectations. Don't go to the DR expecting great French and Japanese food.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go there with beans, rice, plantains, fresh fruit, grilled chicken, like it's delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Some fresh, like Caribbean style cuisine.
Yes. And that's, I think, where the big problem comes for
That
people
makes
who
sense.
go expecting,
I can
hey,
see
they
that.
have a French restaurant. It should be, I was in Paris. I'm expecting
Should be
great
great.
food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not. All right, that's food. Number 2, English level. It's getting better, though.
Okay.
Thing is, you go to like a place like Cancun, and I just feel like the English level's pretty
incredible.
solid.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's pretty
good.
solid for a foreign country, right? That we can have. So what I found in Punta Cana was the English level overall was good. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
The more complicated people's requests were for like food or service, it was falling through.
Sure.
And they're like, wait a minute, but when I was talking to the waiter, I asked for this and I didn't get that. It's like, well, you said a lot to the waiter and he only got maybe 20, 30% of what you said.
Okay.
So this is going back to our Italy episode. This is where you look at the menu and I hate to say it,
Simple
but you
words.
point to the
Yeah.
thing you want and you say, yeah, I would like this or
Yeah.
that. And that's just one. Next low, just maybe some inconsistency with food and drinks. 'Cause
Okay.
I just went on a little rant here about how the Japanese food wasn't good. Then I went to Dreams Flora. I went to the hibachi restaurant and it was good.
Okay.
So explain that to me.
Yeah.
So shout out to Dreams Flora. Great Japanese food. But the sushi at Dreams Onyx was the worst. I actually wanted to spit it out of my mouth. It was that
Oh,
bad. And I love
wow.
sushi.
Yeah, you're a big.
So a little
sushi guy.
inconsistency there.
Okay.
Overall,
Good.
I'm a fan.
experience.
Good
Yeah.
experience. I would go back to Punta Cana.
Yeah.
I would go back and I'd like to try even some more of their resorts. Those are all my lows.
Awesome, man. Okay. Do you have any tips? I mean, we kind of intermingled like a lot of tips and tricks and kind of talked a little bit.
Dude, I have so many tips. We're gonna have to go through these a little quicker.
All right, let's
go on to
Let's
them.
fire around.
Tips from the travel agents. Tips from the travel agents.
All right. Dominican Republic, we can call it the DR. It's a lot quicker, and that's what it means. Next. Cruise ships. Do cruise ships go to the Dominican Republic, the DR? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But they go to an area called Puerto Plata. That's nowhere near Punta Cana. It's
Nope.
like 3, 4, 6 hours away by car
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So,
In the south, right?
yes, cruise ships don't go to Punta Cana. Next, learn some Spanish.
Yeah.
Right? I haven't asked my butler at Secrets Tides. I was like,
Nice.
dude, do you have any tips for people coming to Punta Cana? He's like, yeah, learn some Spanish. It's going
Sure.
to be helpful.
Yeah.
Keywords, bathroom, beer, water, where is,
Specifically
I want.
beer.
Cerveza.
Cerveza.
See. For Americans, we have to do a Punta Cana entry and exit form before we go. It's
Is that a
annoying.
Punta Cana or
It's
Dominican?
just for Punta Cana. Hold on. Good question.
Because I thought it was a Dominican one.
Good point. I think it's Dominican because it asked me what airport I was flying into.
Yeah.
So Punta Cana entry and exit form. Here's the cool thing. It only took me about 3 or 4 minutes, and I was able to fill out the entry and exit form all before I even left my home.
Yeah, it takes.
I was at the office
not
a
lot of
couple
time.
days prior. You can do it up to 7 days prior, I think.
Yeah.
So 48 hours before I left, I hopped on. I did it. I'm also a travel agent, so maybe I was a little quicker. But a lot of our clients do it with no problem.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. At Cleveland Hopkins Airport, they asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to the lady checking me, I said, do some people not have it? She goes, oh, tons of people don't have it. They have to go over to the side. They're on their iPhones, scrambling, sweating, trying to figure it out, and they're all stressed.
Yeah.
And then when I was in Punta Cana, they asked me for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, do people ever not do this? And she's like, yeah, look at them. She points over there. There's like these 4 people.
There's
they were
always-
young too.
yeah, yeah.
And they're on their iPhones scrambling,
They're
like
freaking out,
frantic, like
yeah.
trying to do this thing.
And then if you don't have like a service, like,
Yeah, what happens
oh
if you don't
man,
have service?
what do you do?
Right. So
And I couldn't tell you.
your travel agent will remind you. At Kima Travel, we remind all of our clients to fill this out. Next, get travel insurance because it's a foreign country. If you get hurt, you have to go to a hospital. They're going to charge you. You can get reimbursed for all of it if you have travel insurance. Next, have realistic expectations on the food.
yeah.
Yeah, we knew about that,
Yeah.
right?
Tape room.
All right. The drinks are good overall.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
Don't get too fancy.
Sure.
Simple things. Margarita. Yeah, daiquiri, pina colada.
You're on the
Great.
beach. Get those beautiful beach cocktails.
What's the banana with chocolate mudslide? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Good, right?
Yeah. What's the DR has a signature drink, the Bahama Mama, right?
Oh, I do know the Bahama Mama. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's maybe a Bahama drink, though.
Oh no, what is the drink? Ah, it's a signature DR drink. Did they give you?
Dominican drink signature cocktail?
It is strong. It's so
Okay.
good, but it's
Mama
strong.
Wana? Mama
Yes.
Juana?
Yeah,
Mama Wana?
Mama Wana. Mama Wana.
Okay.
Yes. That will be careful with it. Be careful with it. It's very tasty though.
Nice,
It is strong.
As far as the water goes, these resorts I was at, they all had purified water, so no worries. They all had a
Ah.
ton of bottled water in the room too.
Interesting.
Now, I did not brush my teeth with bottled water. I know some clients do.
Yeah.
I was fine.
Sure.
I also lived in China
Yeah,
for a
you
year.
got that Chinese gut
There's a
now.
chance my gut is just a little stronger than
Yeah.
the rest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame you if you want to do bottled water to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
But at these like specialty restaurants in the buffet and they give you ice water, it's okay. Drink it.
Nice.
You're okay. It's
Nice.
filtered water.
Yeah, they won't give you something that
They're not going to give you.
they
that
know.
kind of
They
water.
know. Yeah.
We talked about this already, but as specialty restaurants, point to the item on the menu you want. Don't rely on your Spanish if you don't speak it that well. If you don't want alcohol, you can say sin, S-I-N, sin alcohol. That means without alcohol. That seemed to work really good. Also, the word no means no, so you
Yeah.
could also say no alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed a lot of people saying sin alcohol, and that seemed
Without,
to work.
right?
Without.
Yeah.
That's all it means, without. Packing. So I'm a fair skinned guy. I have a sun shirt I got in the Galapagos. I love it. Dude, pack a sun shirt. Big hit for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like my body, I like to get a little sun. After 10 to 15 minutes, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't want 8 hours of sun.
Yeah.
Right? I put on my sun shirt.
Or tan a few weeks before and go to a tanning salon. It helps a lot. It
Dude.
really does.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
like one of my biggest tips. Like,
Get a little tannin.
yeah. That came from my wife. She kind of was like, hey, you're going to want to do this. And I just tend to listen to
Kristen
her.
knows what's up, dude.
Yeah.
Way to go. Pack a bathing suit. Pack breathable clothes. It's hot there. It's humid there. For dinners, you're going to these nice restaurants at these resorts. Some of them have a dress code.
Yep.
Ladies, I saw a lot of sundresses. They're very comfortable, very breathable. Guys, I saw a lot of polo shirts and khakis.
Yeah.
Breathable, comfortable khakis, comfortable polo shirts. You don't need a tuxedo at these resorts. You
No,
don't need a
you don't.
jacket. You don't
Yep.
need a tie. Don't bring a tie. Just class it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, that way you're not bringing down the class. Some restaurants don't allow shorts or flip-flops. So bring nice, if you want to wear sandals, ladies, bring nicer sandals.
Yeah.
Even guys too. Pack a spare bag, because when you're flying home, you're going to have wet clothes or wet shoes. You always will.
Yeah,
And
always.
so having that spare, just like laundry bag or plastic bag in your suitcase is clutch.
Now,
yeah.
some of these resorts do have laundry service that you can pay for,
True.
and they'll do your laundry for you.
True. We talk, but typical when you're doing laundry at a hotel or resort, they charge per item, not per load.
Yeah.
So it could add up. But good point.
Yeah.
You could absolutely do that, but give yourself a 2-day buffer, because if the day before you're leaving, you give the laundry service all your laundry and it takes them 2 days, and you're already flown home. You're not going to see those clothes again. Which reminds me, going home, reconfirm your transfer 24 hours prior to departure. So if you leave on July 8th to fly back home to Kansas or Texas or Ohio, that means on July 7th, you go up to the lobby, you find your Amstar blue flowered shirt transfer rep, and you say, hey, my name's Will, and I leave tomorrow on the 1 p.m. flight back to Cincinnati.
Yep.
What time should I be ready, checked out, bags in hand?
Yep.
And that they're going to be like, thank you for reconfirming it. You know, these are those steps that make your good trip great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And they'll let you know even too if there's a flight cancellation or a delay.
There you go.
They're going to be your point person to let you know, hey, actually, your flight's been canceled or your flight's been delayed.
They help a lot.
And because they're associated with Apple Vacations, let's say, for example, your flight's been canceled and you have to wait an entire day before you can fly back home. What happens?
Did this ever happen to you, Will?
Yes, it did.
Tell the story.
So essentially what happens, we got ready. We got our bags. We've checked out. We are waiting to board the bus to go to the airport. And our rep came out and said, hey, guys, your flight's been canceled. Go ahead and stay at the resort here. We're going to figure out what to do next. It is looking like your flight is going to fly out tomorrow. So we're going to organize a stay for you guys somewhere at a different resort. And so they did that for us. All we had to do was just sit back, relax, enjoy our drinks. And they took care of everything for us. We got situated with a brand new resort and stayed there for a day, and everything was taken care of. Very nice.
That's why you go through a travel agent who knows what they're doing with a nice package and works with good, reputable companies.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My next one has to do with excursions. So I had a free day. I ended up doing nothing. I stayed on the beach and just ate and drank and read and relaxed and listened to music. It was great. But I was looking at different excursions. And I'll just say this. When it came to excursions, it wasn't clear on the websites of these excursions how far they were from your resort. So, for example, when I did golfing, it was awesome. What they didn't tell us was it was an hour drive to get there.
Oh, man.
It's kind of a big deal.
It is, yeah.
Maybe I would have liked to know that.
Yeah. 2 hours of driving. I mean,
There was a cool looking resort. It was a Santo Domingo, the capital city day tour, where you got to see and kind of experience the city. They took you around the downtown, saw the cool cathedrals, saw the market, saw the local life. I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah.
2.5 hour drive from my resort each way.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5 hours of driving.
Yep. No fun.
There's this area called La Romana, which has a gorgeous beach. My Romanian friends swear by it. It's not that close to Punta Cana. I think it's like a 45, 50 minutes south of Punta Cana, right? It'd be nice to know.
Yeah.
There's this area called Monkey Land, which I didn't do, but it looked a little more for kids, though there may be some adults who are going to say it's an hour away from Punta Cana.
Okay.
So just something to keep in mind as you're looking at this. Like Cancun, one of the cool things is there's a lot of excursions that depart from like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, it's
so
really nice.
there are some Punta Cana excursions that depart from 5 minutes away, but talk to your Amstar blue flowered shirt rep and be like, hey, we're interested in excursions. Could you tell us some that depart like 10 minutes or less from here? And they'll give you that list.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to know, right?
Yeah.
Next tip, vacation club or timeshare. So timeshare has kind of become a nasty word.
Yeah.
And you're going to find resorts like this aren't going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to use a totally different word. And if you say, is this a timeshare? They're going to be like, no, it's not a timeshare, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's words like vacation club, vacation opportunity, president's circle, things like that, right? A fun way of kind of making their timeshare scheme sound great. Now, I'm going to kind of talk negatively on timeshares because I'm a travel agent.
Yeah.
And the moment our clients buy timeshares, we lose them as clients for life.
Right.
So, yes, it's a known fact that travel agents and timeshares, we clash.
Yeah.
Actually, pro tip, if you're at a resort and a timeshare rep is hounding you, just say you're a travel agent. They leave you alone forever. You're on there like, oh, okay, sorry, and they run away. It's awesome. Yeah. So just a little pro tip.
They know.
Yeah, they know. They don't want to hear about it. We're their competition, right? So I guess beware. I saw quite a few families being pulled in to the timeshare spiel.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They're offered a free excursion. They're offered a free this, a free that, a free room upgrade, a free something. I don't know exactly what it is. If they just listen to a spiel, a totally non-committal spiel, just listen to it, right? And you see the overly ambitious salesperson who's kind of got this family of four cornered. The kids are falling asleep on the mom's shoulder as they're bored out of their minds. And the parents are trying to smile and nod while this overly ambitious salesperson is like thinking they got the sale, right?
Yeah.
And they have a special lounge just for the unlimited vacation club people, and they say, oh, well, no, this isn't a timeshare. Because at a timeshare, you have to go back to the same room, the same resort, the same hotel year after year after year. At our timeshare, you have access to all of our portfolio all over Mexico and the Caribbean. And now we're even in Spain and Greece, and we're even in South America, right? There's so many portfolio of areas you can go to. And we're not going to raise the prices so often. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're really going to say this is not a timeshare, right? But it is a timeshare. It's a type of timeshare. Yes, maybe it's a different timeshare than what it was like in the 80s and 90s, but it is a timeshare.
For the younger audience that might not be aware of what a timeshare is.
You're locking into a long-term contract for the rest of your life at a place that you have to go back to, even if you never want to go there again.
Yes. So I have a friend whose brother bought a timeshare. They paid $10,000
up front.
Sure. Yes, up front. And it wasn't lifetime. It was, I want to say like 5 years, something like that. It was a crazy.
But then they never have to pay any more money ever again, right?
Yeah, no, that's not the case. It was like they got suckered.
Fees, there's other fees, there's upping the fees, there's other fees.
Be careful of timeshares, and not even as a travel agent. Like genuinely, be careful of
if timeshares are so great, why are these salespeople trying so hard to push them?
Yeah.
If timeshares are so great, how come a couple times a year I get a call from a client saying, Brian, do you know for a way for me to get out of this timeshare? If timeshares, Will, are so great, how come I get calls from friends of family saying, hey, Brian, would your travel agency be able to sell my timeshare to other guests that you work with? I'll give you a great deal. That's all I'm going to say.
Maybe that brings up a good point. And maybe we cover this in a separate episode. Maybe this requires a separate episode. And if it is,
episode.
Maybe you can just say that. But is there a way to get out of timeshare?
I've seen this ad on TV called like timeshareexit.com.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Maybe it's exittimeshare.com. It's one of the two. And I think there's a company out of Florida that helps you.
Wow.
I doubt they're cheap.
Yeah.
If you're currently in a timeshare, don't lose heart.
Yeah.
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what? I had a friend growing up. They had a good timeshare experience.
Okay.
They also shared it with all 4 kids, and the grandparents paid it, so the kids took turns once every like 4 years that one family would go. It was a good experience.
Sure.
And I heard from another couple that they had a good experience too. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Next, bring U.S. dollars to the DR.
Absolutely, yeah.
No need. The local currency is called the Dominican pesos. As of June 2024, $1 U.S. is about 60 Dominican pesos. That's good to know. However, they like that U.S. dollar.
Who doesn't?
You don't go exchanging your money.
Yeah.
If you use an ATM there, it's going to spit out Dominican pesos and large bills, which are hard to use. So you have to go to the front desk and say, hey, could you please give me smaller bills? It's always a problem, but it's okay. Next, tipping. You know, I regret all the tipping I did. I did a little too much. I was being too generous. I'm giving everyone, and they're actually looking at me like, really? Really? You're giving me a tip? Like, these are all-inclusive resorts. The tips are included, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If someone goes above and beyond, yes, you can tip them, but I did a little too much tipping. And then I started to resent myself and the staff. Like, are they just doing this for a tip? It's like, no, Brian, they're doing it because you're tipping them, you know?
Yeah.
So it was really my fault.
Yeah.
And a shout out to, I forget his name, but the guy who welcomed me at Dreams Flora. I walk in, he's so nice, huge smile. And you know what? I've already been at the trip for 4 days at that point, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy just wants a tip.
Yeah.
He takes me up to the front desk. He's like, Brian, Mr. Chima, you're gonna get checked in by this lady right here, and she's gonna do a great job, and we're gonna get you to your room soon. And here's the place you can eat tonight, et cetera, et cetera. He's being very nice. I said, great, but sir, I'm really sorry, I don't have a tip. I said, oh wait, I do have a tip, and I pulled out 100 pesos, which is like $1.60. I hand it to him, and he says, "No, it's okay. I just love my job. Just take it back."
Yeah.
I almost came to tears. I was like, "Wow, you could have had this tip."
Yeah.
And you just genuinely wanted to welcome me to your resort.
Yeah.
It made me feel so happy. I was like, I was wrong. So all that to say, shout out to I don't know if it was a GM or manager on duty or what at the Dreams Flora, but
that's awesome.
They're not all in it for the tips,
Yeah.
All right. Hurricane season is super long. It's like technically May through December. Like
it's
more
getting
than
longer.
half the year.
Yeah, it's getting longer.
But specifically September, October, November. If you ask any Caribbean person, they're going to say hurricane. I mean, it could rain at any moment, right?
Yeah.
Even if you go in non-hurricane season like February, it could still rain every day a little bit, so don't freak out. Like that's just part of the Caribbean. But with that said, September, October, November are going to be your key. When did you go to Puerto Rico?
September.
Okay. Hurricane.
Yeah, hurricane season.
Yeah. Hurricane Maria?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devastating.
It was crazy.
Devastating. Yeah. So I've sent people to the DR in September, October, and November. They've been rained on. They've also not had rain. So it's hard to plan your trip around it.
Does travel insurance cover for hurricanes?
Not quite. If the flight's still going and here's how travel insurance works. You're telling the travel insurance company, hey, I'm going to make every effort to go on my trip. I really am. But if something major causes me from going, the travel insurance can step in. Like you break a leg or you lose a family member.
Yeah.
Or your brother gets super sick or something like that, right? Yeah. Something happens to you, it works. One cool thing about the packages we sell will cancel for any reason.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. We can do cancel for any reason for get you credit for the amount of money that you spent as well as cash back. And just a forewarning for you guys, they are predicting that this year is going to be a very rough hurricane season for the Caribbean. So if you are looking to, spend some time in the Caribbean and go on an all-inclusive vacation, I really, really encourage you guys. Please consider getting travel insurance just to protect your peace of mind. You never really know. And you trust me from experience, you don't want to be in these positions where you're caught in the middle of a hurricane and you're freaking out. Travel insurance is really going to help you out.
And you can cancel up until like an hour before your flight leaves.
Yeah, it's incredible.
If it's looking like a bad hurricane, cancel.
Yeah.
My last tip is a story about my first Uber to my first hotel. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. So I land in Punta Cana. I don't have Amstar as a transfer.
Okay.
I really wish I did.
Yeah.
I pull up my Uber app. I call my Uber. I get accepted by a guy who's an Uber driver. He has 5 stars on Uber.
Okay.
He has 12 reviews, which if you use Uber a lot of these Uber drivers have like 12,000 reviews.
Yeah, so many. Yeah.
So this guy has 12 reviews. 5 stars, 12 reviews. I'm like, that's kind of weird. He finds me, which is kind of cool because he calls me and he helps me with my bag. We walk to his car. We put my suitcase in the trunk. I get in. He hasn't started the car yet. He doesn't speak English. Now, I'm currently the best I am at Spanish because of my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Not great, though. And what he's asking me in Spanish is, can you please cancel the ride on Uber and then pay me cash? Because Uber takes such a big cut. He can save me money by not going through the Uber app, and he can get more money by not letting Uber have their cut. And I'm thinking, wow. See, with Uber, there's great safety.
Yes.
It knows where I'm at. It knows the license plate of the car that I'm driving.
Yeah.
I also share with 3 different friends. Whenever I use Uber, they see where I'm at. They can see where I'm at.
Yeah.
In the car.
Yeah.
Payment is done through the app. You could even tip through the app. So I said, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I just want to use the app. And he insisted I cancel the ride and pay him in cash. And I said, I'm not comfortable with that. I'd like to, and we're sitting in his car.
Yeah.
And he's bigger than me. Almost not a big guy. I would like to use the app. And he tried one more time saying, he was very kind.
Yeah.
He wasn't mean. He was just very gently explaining it would mean a lot. Only in Spanish, by the way.
Yeah.
And a third time, I said, I don't have cash, which I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible traveler. My dad would be very upset. And he goes, oh, okay. I said, I don't have cash. I'll tip you generously through the app. Propina, tip. I knew that word.
Yeah.
And he said, okay. Our drive was very pleasant. He was very nice. I got to practice my Spanish. He was a God-fearing man, nice guy.
Yeah.
He showed me a picture of his wife and son.
Nice.
And I mean, the guy gave me his WhatsApp number. He said, hey, feel free to reach out if you need more transportation services while here.
Yeah.
I also do some tour guided stuff too.
Nice.
Very comfortable car.
Great.
Awkward first experience.
Yeah. Don't cancel your Uber ride, especially in a foreign country. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
I'd even say
it's dangerous.
Have some cash for a tip right there. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just stay on Uber.
Yeah.
Because
It's
the
your
moment
protection.
you cancel Uber, you're in someone's car who could take you anywhere. Because I don't know the roads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could be trafficked. Honestly, you could genuinely be trafficked that way.
It's so sad. So have your travel agent book you a transfer.
So this episode's running pretty long at this point.
Yeah.
But I wanted to check in. Do you have any other last minute thoughts? Because there's one other topic that I wanted to touch up on.
What if I just go by my standby items so quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Standby items.
It's safety, another info, it's standby items, here we go.
So we already talked about seaweed. Kind of curious to hear people's thoughts about this whole little barrier thing in the ocean.
Yeah.
Is it ethically okay or not? The capital of the Dominican Republic is Santo Domingo. I didn't go there. I don't really think you need to go there.
No.
It's kind of far from Punta Cana. Baseball. Baseball's huge in the DR.
Huge.
A lot of Caribbean places like soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, you guys take Gusta football? They're like, no, we like baseball here, dude.
Yeah.
Do you not know anything?
Yeah.
Dude, famous baseball players from Dominican Republic.
So many.
David Ortiz, Big Papi is his name, I think.
Yep.
Pedro Martinez, Bartolo Colon played for the Cleveland Indians.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
Manny Ramirez, my favorite baseball player growing up.
Heck yeah.
And there's a whole list of other people. Sammy Sosa, turns out, was from there. So Carlos Santana, wow, that's the name of that guitarist.
Yeah.
The weather, it's pleasant year round, but it does get hot in the summer, like even more hot. And it's humid, so you're going to sweat your heart out. Mangú is the traditional Dominican dish, for breakfast, which you should totally try. It's delicious, mashed plantains. One cool story is a lot of these pro MLB players, they make a ton of money in the MLB, and then they go give back. Gorgeous roads,
Yeah.
gorgeous houses. They say, yeah, this road is funded by Big Papi.
That's awesome.
This golf course is funded by so-and-so. This resort is funded by this school is built by Big Papi. Countless stories,
cool
right?
Yeah.
Proximity to Haiti. Was that what you were going to touch on?
I was going to ask about it, yeah.
So honestly, that's my last point. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So for those that are unaware, Haiti, for the lack of a better word, is a failed state. They currently do not have a head of state. They have a prime minister, but they do not have a head of state. It is currently overrun by gang lords. And in fact, as of this recording, Kenya is going to lead a UN peacekeeping mission to Haiti.
Wow, really?
To clean up the streets. It has been ongoing for probably 2 years at this point, and it seems like it's finally been green lit. So hopefully, this will actually happen soon.
Dude, last month, Christina said last month that the prime minister of Haiti flew to Puerto Rico for safety.
Yeah, he is resigned.
Okay.
He's resigned.
Is barbecue still
He is still the, I guess, de facto leader.
Which is a gang leader?
He is.
He's a cannibal?
That is the story.
He goes by barbecue?
Yeah, that's the story. He was he used to be a police chief. He was police. Okay. He was supposedly a dirty cop, made connections in the gang criminal underworld, rose to power, and now he is the de facto head of state of Haiti. So the question is, has this turmoil, has this violence spilled over to the Dominican? And the short answer to this is no. It really hasn't. There is a long history between the Dominicans and Haiti, and it's too long to really dive deep.
They share an island called
Hispaniola,
right?
Yeah, they share an island. It's a long story, but the short of it is that they don't get along.
But Will Vox does a fascinating documentary on this. I watched it on a flight once, and it's about 15 minutes. And so what I learned is there's a border wall that separates the two countries. Mm-hmm. And every Dominican Republic person I met, I asked them about about Haitians.
Yeah.
And okay, that was like 4 people. The 4 people I asked all gave me the same answer. The Haitians who are here in Dominican Republic take on very difficult jobs that a lot of DR people maybe aren't willing to take.
Got it.
And they're low pay and extremely difficult, and they are incredible at them.
Yeah.
They are the most hardworking people. And in Haiti, they speak French Creole and French.
Yep.
And they're coming to the DR, they have to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
And they're learning it to take on a much better life.
Yeah. And this is maybe to ease any discomfort if you're looking at going to the DR or anything like that. Think of it like this. The Dominicans' biggest biggest driver of the economy is tourism.
Yeah.
And that center is Punta Cana. And they will do everything to protect that economy. It is the lifeblood of their country. Honestly, it genuinely is. They depend on the tourism dollars that much. That is why we see this increased security. It's not because things have happened. It is to prevent things from ever happening.
Right.
So if you're nervous about going to the DR just because it shares a border with Haiti, don't. It's the same way that you probably wouldn't be nervous about going to Texas just because we share a border with Mexico and Mexico has cartel violence. You don't worry about that, right? It's the same kind of aspect.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Will. I'm glad we touched on it.
Yeah.
I think we did it in the best way we could. It's such a volatile situation. I think we're both hoping that even weeks or months from now, it's a very different story there.
Yeah.
This is recorded in June of 2024. We're just going based off what we know.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is, I think, the end of a very long episode. Do you have any other last-minute items that you want to cover?
You know, I was looking at the time like, oh my gosh, this is so long. How on earth did we go this long? But we're touching on a destination that's one of our top 3 selling destinations in our whole inventory at Kima Travel Agency. Yeah. So I think it's okay.
I agree. Yeah.
And I know we did talk a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say I will gladly go back.
The DR is a beautiful, country.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it for folks that haven't gone or maybe had a bad experience at a resort. Yeah, one resort.
Like hundreds of others you can go try. So
don't write it off. It's a really great, fascinating country with a lot of beautiful resorts with beautiful people who are so kind, almost to a point where they wear their heart on their sleeve.
Yeah.
Beautiful people, beautiful country. Highly recommend going. If you have any questions about what it might look like to go to an all-inclusive resort, whether it be in the Dominican or somewhere else in the Caribbean, hey, we're travel agents. We work at Kima Travel. That's our travel agency. And we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. See if we could find a resort that could be a good fit for you, your family, or your honeymoon, or, hey, your graduation or your spring break.
Got your back.
We got your back. And you can reach us. Actually, you can go to the link in the description. We have the ability to take fan mail now. And that's the form of like a text message, I believe.
Yeah, I
so,
saw
hey,
that.
if you want to reach out to us, let us know what you think. Hey, if you have thoughts on that barrier in the ocean, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear about it. But I think that's the end of the show. Do you
Thanks,
have anything
Will.
else?
Dude, adios, mi amigos. Thank you for listening.
Bye, guys.
With the travel agents, that's the end of our show. Make sure to comment and subscribe before you go. We're the travel agents, thanks for listening. Now book your trip, pack your bags, and do some traveling.